All right, senior home business family, we're rocking over here. You see up in the up top corner, senior placement is to do this full speed ahead. We're excited about that. But hey, welcome. Happy Monday. Hope you guys are doing great. Today we're going to talk about how to hit your financial target every time. On this channel, we always talk about the senior referral business. We talk about senior living in general. We'll bring stories, we'll bring articles. And we're just trying to educate the general public about this industry because there's an amazing industry to help seniors at no cost, no obligation, and all that. But today I'm going to teach you how to hit your financial target. We all have targets, I hope. If you don't have a target, let me give you a clue. You're not going to hit it. But stay with me today because I'm going to get into something a little bit later during this video about details and destination that will revolutionize your life. This is something that changed my perspective. It changed my course of action and how to make money and things like that. Because if you don't know me, my name is Matt Stafford from California. 10 years ago, man, I wasn't necessarily broke, but let's say I was living paycheck to paycheck. I was just kind of the guy that couldn't wait to get paid on Friday so I could pay rent and do all the other stuff. And so I ended up changing some things in my life. And we're going to learn today that every day your thoughts, energy, and actions must be congruent with your outcome. And we're going to talk a lot about that today. And so a lot about your thoughts, a lot about your energy, a lot about your actions, because people struggle with this. I know because I struggled with it. I struggled with all this in terms of, man, let me just get my thoughts right. Oh my God, it's got to be positive. I just got to have, a mindset of success and have an abundant mindset. I mean, that's all true. But I mean, I was trying to conjure it all up myself. And then, man, the energy, whoo, let's just get pumped up, play that music again. Let's just get going and be super excited. And I'm all about positive energy as well, but it's not all about that. And then the actions, man, you fall short. You don't achieve your goal. You start beating yourself up. Come on, how many identify with that? If you do, just drop down and hit the a comment down below. And if you want to know more about the senior referral business, before I forget, you can always drop down, click the link, learn more about that, join the free group, all that good stuff. But that's not the purpose of today's video. The purpose of today's video is to how to hit your financial target every single time. Let me give you a hint about this. So when you think about your thoughts, energy, and actions, and all three need to be congruent with your outcome. What you need to focus on is your outcome. The mistake I made 10 years ago is I was focusing all on my thoughts, focusing on my energy, and focusing on my actions. And I was trying to do something myself. But the problem with that is when you start doing all that, you're focusing on the details. Okay. Now, nothing wrong with details. I used to have a former boss, man. God, I heard it every single day. The guy would always go, Matt, it's all about the details. It's all about the details. And I get that. But, you cannot focus solely on the details, because if we did, oh my gosh, man, my life 10 years ago, I'm focusing solely on the details. Life was not that good. And those details brought me down emotionally, brought me down mentally, brought me down physically, brought me down a lot, definitely financially, but brought me down a lot of different ways, right? So I'm focusing on the details. But let me give you this. As you're focusing on your thoughts, energy, and action, and they need to be congruent with your outcome, what you want to do is focus on your destination, not the details. So we all understand we all have a past, right? And we all have a future, and we all have the present where we are. When you're focusing on your details, you're focusing on the present, which is not to say you don't ever do that. Now, details would be, hey, pay your mortgage, pay your car payment, do certain things in life, go to your kid's graduation. There's details in life, or just the normal things of paying bills or whatever. There's details, but your mindset shifts when you start focusing on the future. Okay. Doesn't mean you become absent-minded about the present, but your primary focus is on the future. And what you focus on, you're going to achieve, you're going to get, it's going to expand, it's going to grow. It's a principle of life. It just does. And so try to train yourself to focus more on the future, more on your destination. And when you do this, you end up bringing your future into the present. Now that's pretty cool. When you focus on the details, you're just focusing on the present, and you're not bringing anything new into your life. You're just focusing on the stuff, right? All the stuff that's in front of me and then the day-to-day kind of stuff, right? But when you start focusing on your destination, where you're going, it's kind of like taking a trip, right? Back in the day, I know this is dating me, but back in the day, we used to have to get a big old map out, highlight and kind of pinpoint where we're going. I know we got GPS and all that other stuff nowadays and iPhones and all technology today. I understand that. Back in the day, you had to do that. And so, but if I was always focusing on where I was at and not where I was going, I would never get to where I was going. I'd always remain where I'm at. And that's why I stayed stuck for so many years in my life, is because I kept focusing on the present and I didn't focus nearly enough on the future. Now, you can also focus on the past. Now, you focus on the past, what happens is you end up bringing the past to the present. Now, follow me on this, because we all have, hopefully, a good past, and then we probably have a bad past, right? We got some things in our lives that we enjoy remembering that happened, and then we got some things in our lives that we were like, oh my gosh, I wish this never happened, right? So if that is you in terms of, let's say, something bad, okay, whatever that bad is, it's not the topic of the lesson, the video to get what's bad, what's not bad, but it's something that's bad to you. And if you focus too much on that bad and don't forgive yourself, don't move on from that particular thing, you're constantly in your mind going to bring that thing to the present. And you're going to relive, re-experience that negativity. And I'm telling you, if you don't understand thoughts, negative thoughts, positive thoughts, we all get that. But I'm telling you, just as positive thoughts have a powerful impact in your life, negative thoughts have just as much power. It just does. So now let's say it's something good that happened in the past. Now I'll tell you something good in my own life. Now, high school I went to, Western Branch High School. So if some of you alumni are out there from Western Branch High School back in Chesapeake, Virginia, hit me up. But the school started in 1968. Fast forward to today, 2024. I was the high school quarterback, and I threw the longest touchdown pass ever at that school. Now, I had a lot of help. It wasn't all me, but still, I'm down in the record books as throwing the longest touchdown pass ever at Western Branch High School since the day of inception of 1968 to the day of 2024. Now, that's a good thing, right? It's a good thought. And sometimes thinking about that empowers me to do something good. Sometimes thinking about that goes, man, if I could have done that as a teenager, I definitely can do this as an adult man, right? But if I'm constantly focusing on that, I'm focusing on something and I'm bringing it to the present that I can never do in the present. Because now I'm 55 years old. I'm not a kid anymore. I don't play high school. I don't play quarterback. I'm not the Matt Stafford from the Rams, right? So that is not good. It's okay to remember those things, but don't focus on those things. Same with the details in the present. It's okay to focus on them a little bit to get them taken care of, but then move on to your future, move on to your destination, move on to where you want to be. And what happens is when you start doing that, you start envisioning something big. You start dreaming about what life could be like. And you might say, oh man, it's just a bunch of fairy tale kind of stuff. And it's really not. I'm telling you, there is some subtle shifts that you can make to move you from this point where you are to hit your financial target. And one of those things is to trick your mind. I learned this years ago. I can't say it's my own, but I learned it about 3 or 4 years ago, and it just took me to a whole nother level. If you cannot afford something, don't say you can't afford it. Just save up. Don't overextend yourself. I'm not trying to tell you to go in debt, anything like that, but save up for it and go purchase the thing. Or let's say you really will go on a trip, and I love the coast. Let's say you want to go on the beach and you really want to stay at a 5-star hotel and you really want to go to this fine dining that you never can afford. I would encourage you to save up for that. Again, don't put it on your plastic. Don't go in debt. Don't go get a loan for it. That's not how you hit your financial target. Save up for it and then take all that amount of money because you're focusing on your destination. Take that and go splurge on yourself. And what happens, you do that enough times, you start tricking your mind that you belong there. It's an incredible exercise that we all can do. Now, it might not be a 5-star hotel. It might be something else you want to do. You might want to just go to the mountains. You might want to go just out of the city. Just, I don't know, whatever it is you want to do, save up for it. It may take you 3 months to save up for it. It may take you 6. Man, then go splurge that. Don't save up and go, okay, I'm saving for a rainy day. That's not how you get your financial targets hit. Don't save for a rainy day. Save with a purpose. Plan. Look into the future. See where you're going, because your focus is there. Now your mind is expanding, and now your thoughts are a lot different today because you're focusing on the future. And getting to energy real quick. I put this on my LinkedIn this morning because we all know probably that Einstein said everything is energy. But I like to think energy is everything. And it really is. Energy is everything. You need to be around people that are positive. You need to be around people that believe in you. You need to believe in yourself if you don't, but be around others that cheerlead you on, that have your best interests in mind. Don't be around people that degrade you, talk bad about you when you're not in the room. I mean, those people you just need to excuse yourself from. Maybe they're family and you say, well, I can't really excuse myself from family. What you do is you just acknowledge them at a certain family event or see them whenever you can, but you minimize that contact with them because energy is everything. It really is. And so when I started getting around better people, I started getting around bigger rooms. I started getting around people that thought bigger. Guess what? It was kind of contagious. It kind of just rubbed off on me. I started believing in myself, and I started going, oh my gosh, I can do this because I see someone else doing it. And, I know there's a concept out there, and I believe a little bit of it. It's called reverse engineering. You can look at somebody and say, oh my gosh, they did it. Let's figure out how they did it, and then I can do it. Now, if you're going to reverse engineer something, especially in business, and it happens with your personality in your life too, but in business in particular, make sure you're authentic. I'll give you a couple examples. I got this one person, God bless her. She's reached out to me a couple of times about the Senior Placement Institute, and she wants to, more information. She wants to expand. She's trying to get her business off the ground, and we've been in contact probably for 3 years now. And I'm not going to tell you who she is and where she's from, but I noticed today on her social media, because I follow her, I think she's trying. She's doing, we're all trying our best, but I'm telling you, you need to invest in yourself. But she's just trying to do it by herself. Well, she posted that, hey, we're all about state reviews, and you should get one before you move your mom or dad somewhere into a community. Reach out to me for a free report. And then in her post, the state reviews were California state reviews. And the person is not in California. I'm not going to tell you what state she's from, but she's not in California. And I'm like, just be authentic. I know why she's doing it. She's heard me say it. She's seen a post of mine that I've done this, but we legitimately do this. We concentrate on state reviews for families. We concentrate on reputation of these communities that we give back to the families and let them know, hey, this is the word on the street. And then we also have family intel. We have experience of dealing with hundreds of seniors moving into these communities. That is the 3-step qualification process right there. I just kind of gave that to you for free. So if you're looking to get into business, do that. So sometimes people hear me say certain things like this, which I give quite a bit of content on this YouTube channel. I know I don't give everything. I can't. Come on, guys. I can't give everything, but I give a little bit. But she's taking that and run with it. Now, couple problems with that. Number one, she's probably not doing it because she's posting out-of-state websites of how to get state reviews. Anybody in their right mind that sees that post will see Fresno, California on there. And I'm like, oh my gosh, she's not in California. So that's a big no-no. I've had people in my industry when I started to hit real hot and heavy about negotiating for families, because I'm more of an advocate for seniors. I think any referral agent out there needs to negotiate for families, try to save as much money for families and residents as possible. If you're not doing that, I tend to question whether they're an advocate for seniors or not. It kind of errs on the side of just making money, but okay, I'm not here to judge. However, when I started putting that on my social media and my bio and different things, hey, we negotiate for families, we negotiate for residents. Guess what I started seeing popping up all the time? People in my own area, even outside my own area, people were like, oh my gosh, we negotiate for families. And it's like, they almost have this impression, this thought that because I put that out there, that's how I get success. And that's a misnomer in this business. People think it's all about marketing, which I understand marketing is king. Marketing, you got to get the word out, you got to get eyeballs in your business, things like that. But in the process, you definitely want to be authentic. If you're not doing what you're teaching, you're not authentic. If you're not doing what you're posting, you're not being authentic. If you're not doing what you say in your bio, you're not being authentic. And that's going to eat at the very core of who you are. So how does that relate to hitting your financial target? That eats at your energy. That eats at who you are personally. You become something that you don't want to become. A fake, a fraud. Somebody is just throwing crap on the wall, hoping it sticks. And that's not what you want. That's not what anyone wants. I had this one guy out of state, all the way on the East Coast, and he's reached out to me a number of times. And he's like, man, I just, I think I got enough information from my experience, a little bit on your YouTube channel. I could do this by myself. And I say, hey, that's perfect, man. I like that. I think anybody should go for it. I honestly believe, not just because I coach and I have the Senior Placement Institute, but I also believe you should reinvest in yourself. I mean, I just spent thousands and thousands of dollars at a Brad Lee 2-day event. Some people think that's stupid, but you know what? I did that. It took my business to a whole nother level. It took me to another level. I was on the front row. I made sure I wasn't in the back. And the reason I made sure, because I bought VIP. I want VIP, man, up front. And then we went out to dinner and with a couple other people and things like that. But this one guy, so he made a decision. Okay, I'm going to do this. And he started doing it, kind of struggled a little bit. Then he reached out to me. Hey, Matt, I know you're going to be on the East Coast. Can we hook up a little bit? Sure. And he didn't follow through. No big deal. Hey, no, I got busy. I'm sure he got busy, not shift blame. And then what happened was he reached out to me again and said, hey, can I give you $100 for an hour of your time? Now, some of you are going to be offended by this, but $100 doesn't move me like it used to, because that's not my financial target. All right. Now, it doesn't mean I don't help people. I do a lot of things pro bono. I help seniors free a lot of times. So as much money as you see us make and hear about students making a Senior Placement Institute, I will work just as hard for residents and not get a dime. So I understand the principle of giving, and it shall be given back to you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over. Somebody understands where that comes from. So that is the thing. But I told him, I said, man, $100. I mean, I was almost like, I can't do that. So anyway, the guy reached back out to me again about a month ago and said, hey, I decided to do this business. I'm doing it. If you have anybody in the area, I would love to help them out. Well, come to find out, I've got a student in that area. He goes, man, what, you already got a student? What, you can't help me out? I said, man, I'm going to help my students out first. My students are family. My students have invested in me. And if they've invested in me, I'm going to give all what I have back to them, right? I mean, I've got students that have been with me since 2019, and they pay me one fee, and that's it, because it's not about the money. I got plenty of people in the coaching space think I'm an idiot. They think, Matt, you should charge, thousands of dollars for your Senior Placement Institute online course, which, hey, I do. I do, because the one-time investment. If you don't like that, go buy a franchise for $75,000 up front, $3,000 per month over 10 years, and spend about $270,000. I mean, so it's a really a win-win. I mean, they give us a little bit of money. They show some seriousness. They're investing in themselves, investing in us, and then we reciprocate. We're serious about coaching them to success and helping them out. So, but getting back to the energy part. So the energy, you got to be around people that are positive toward your outcome. And you've got to be in places, whether me going to Brad Lee or whether, I give you an example. Many of you notice, you follow me last summer, I think it was. My wife and I went to the coast, which we typically do. A lot of times we love going to the coast. We're only about an hour and a half away, so it's not that far. And where we live in the valley, it gets extremely hot. We don't like the heat. So we got a pool now because we moved, but we still like going to the coast. So anyway, I went to the coast, and we get a 2,400 square foot penthouse, multiple bathrooms, big place. And it was just my wife and I, and we have one dog at a time. We got two now, but we have one at a time. And people will think that's stupid. And we spent there several days there. And we spent top dollar. But the reason we did is to always remind ourselves that we belong there. See, some people don't think some of you don't think you're deserving of a great outcome. And that's why you're always focusing on the present. And that's why you're always focusing on the problems. And again, you focus on the present, focus on the details, you get to the problems, and you start to expand those problems, and those problems become bigger than what they really are. I'm not saying there's no big problems out there. Shoot, I think the more money you make, the bigger problems you get. That's really kind of, pro tip here. The more money you make, the problems just get bigger. But if you focus all on the problems, that is where your energy is going to go. And your energy is going to be sucked out of it now. So now you're thinking about the problem. Now you're getting, your posture is starting to change. You're going from sitting up straight. You got great posture. Now you're slouching over. Woe is me. How am I going to get through this? I don't know. And you're spending hours and days, maybe weeks and months trying to figure out this problem. When if you're thinking about your destination, the solution to the problem actually becomes very clear, because you know where you're going. Going back to that map analogy, right? You know where you're going. You're at point A. You got to get to point B. And, you hit a couple bumps along the way. You have to get gas in your car. You get hungry, so you pull over, get something to eat, whatever it may be. But you know where you're going. And you're going there. And so you're able to get through the rain or the snow and, being hungry or running out of gas, getting a flat tire, because you know where you're going. But if you don't have clear direction in where you're going, you're always going to come back to some negative energy. Now get to the action. So you got some positive thoughts. Let me tell you something about thoughts real quick. Let's go back to thoughts. Every thought that comes to your mind, you don't have to embrace and accept those thoughts as your own. Okay. I used to think that. I used to think, get a bad thought, whatever the bad thought was. It could be something like, oh my gosh, I'll never achieve my goals. I'll always be broke. Money, it works hard, and making money's hard, and money doesn't grow on trees. All these stuff just would go through my mind. And those thoughts, just because they penetrate up here in your conscious mind, doesn't mean they need to dive down into your subconscious. Okay, so your subconscious, where it really starts to go, your paradigm, right? You don't want to change your paradigm in a bad way. You want to change it in a positive way. So if that thought does not move you forward to your destination, if that thought is bringing you backwards or down, dismiss that thought immediately. Go, boom, and focus on something positive. Focus on something that's going to lift you up. Focus on something that's going to build you up. Focus on something that's going to progress you and move you toward your goals and your dreams. So thoughts, energy, and then actions. You've got to take action, right? Taking action. One misnomer and fallacy that I used to believe was, again, about the whole present kind of thing, right? My mind was so in the present. I was like, I got to change my actions. And so I was trying to change how to do something. It's like, well, how do you do this? That's like people trying to do this business here, and they're trying, how do you do it? And they're trying to figure it out. And they're getting glimpses on my YouTube channel and glimpses on my social media. And maybe they schedule a consultation call with me and they're getting glimpses of it, but they don't get the full picture, right? So they're trying to piece it all together. So I did that a lot, trying to figure out how do you do it? And that's the wrong mentality that I learned later in life, is that don't focus on the how, focus on who. Focus on you getting better. Like, who do I need to become to attain my destination? Who do I need to become to reach my full potential? Who do I need to become now? And whether I'm older in life or younger in life, it doesn't really matter. We don't know how long we're going to live here. We're all like but a vapor, right? We're here today, gone tomorrow. But who do I need to become? And that's your actions. Your actions should be like, if you want to be a CEO of a company one day, well, you should begin to act every day as though you are CEO. How do CEOs act? What do they do? The successful ones. Entrepreneur. Do you want to be an entrepreneur? How do they act? How do they conduct themselves? What do they think about? Where are the places they go? See, that's kind of the positive reverse engineering that you can do, but focus on the who. Focus on who do you need to become to obtain and reach your destination. Okay, so if you're going to hit your financial target, and you're going to hit it every time, which I believe I do, I hit it every time. I got daily goals, I got quarterly goals, I got yearly goals, I got 5-year goals. Now, I don't go back to the SMART goals. I know that's probably dating me too. I don't go back to that, but I do have certain things that I measure. And that's one thing I'm glad I pay attention to school about math, because I was pretty good at math. Other subjects, not so much, but I was pretty good at math. And I always want to know the numbers. The math is the path. And so if you want to reach your financial target and attain it every single time, your thoughts, your energy, and your actions need to be congruent with your outcome, but always focus on the outcome first and work your way backwards. Don't focus on your thoughts, energy, and action and try to get there. No, focus on your outcome. Just like the old map analogy I've given twice already, right? I'm focusing on where I'm going, not where I'm at. If you focus on where you're at, you're never going to get there, right? Oh my gosh, I don't know where to go. I don't have a map. I don't have GPS. I just don't know where to turn left, right, or how long is it going to take me to get there, how much money I need for gas. And you're getting lost all in the details. Just get in your car and go. And that's what I'll encourage you today. If you want to hit your financial goals, you want to hit them every single time, man, get in the vehicle that you have, something that you believe that is going to be a success for you. It may be the senior referral business. It may be something else. But whatever vehicle it is, get in that vehicle and stay in your lane and pursue it. Don't give up. Don't go backwards. I mean, always look through the windshield, right? The windshield is much bigger than the rear view mirror. Come on. Somebody give me an amen on that one, right? It's much bigger. So stay looking at the windshield and don't get lost in the rear view mirror and look at the past and bring up the past to the present. And don't just focus on the present people that are in the car. Focus on your destination. Focus on where you're going. That's how you get your financial goals, your financial targets every single time. Till next time, God bless.